Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sensei coming back to you once again live, and it indeed has been a busy day. This is my third video today, and the reason being is because there is so much happening in crypto, and being that I am doing crypto 24/7, and I know most people within the sound of my voice are still working and they've got a lot of things to do. You got soccer moms out there and the whole nine. So being that I have the time to find out what's going on, I am here to keep you guys informed. So earlier today, if you watched my earlier video, we were talking about Bittensor and its expansion of the ecosystem, supposedly. But I did a little more digging, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know about Bittensor, that's basically like the #1 AI thing going on. And I was explaining earlier how I caught it at $35 to $45, and now it's up to over $400 and this, that, and the other. It's a wonderful project, ladies and gentlemen. So what we were doing is we were looking at TaoPad, okay, which seemingly came out today. I found out about it through Crypto Lightsaber. You know, the force is strong with him. But you know, we were looking at, TaoPad, and I was very psyched for it, and it looks good and all the things that are going on. And then later on in the day, we found out that over on the Pulse chain, Warren Finance, had basically rugged, if you will, and so there's been a lot of stuff going on with that. And then I received in my messages that the Bittensor Open Tensor Foundation had stopped an account that was trying to rob people of their Bittensor DAO token. It was claiming that it was an ERC20 coin. So I says, that sounds very similar to we were talking about in TaoPad. So what I did, ladies and gentlemen, is I actually went over to the Telegram, okay? And when I went over to the Telegram, what I did is I asked, let me see here, not over here, but over in, and of course, I actually went to, let's go back to, I want to show you guys directly so you have direct knowledge of this thing here. Let's go back to Bittensor, and I want to show you exactly what I got. So once again, as usual, when you're making a video, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I paused it very quickly, is because I had everything all queued up, but for some reason it disappeared, which is exactly why I took a picture of it. Okay, so you're looking at a picture here of what I recorded earlier, because I went into the actual Bittensor general discussion and I asked them, right up here you can see, it says, is TaoPad endorsed by Bittensor? And then Kevin T wrote, I wanted to actually go into it, and I'm sure I'll find it once the video is over, because it always works like that. But he says no. And then I asked him outright, is TaoPad a scam? And they said, we have no idea, never heard of it. It's not associated with Open Tensor Foundation. Also, no one in the DAO community Discord seems to have heard of it either. So it doesn't seem to be something that is established, something the established community is building, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I just want to let you guys know what's going on with that. Now, in other news, ladies and gentlemen, we have, I don't know if you guys know, but the Crypto Wendy O, she's a big member of the Hex/Pulse chain community, and she has some really wonderful material, and you should follow her. But she put something out about the truth about the new $10,000 IRS crypto rule, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I am not a financial advisor. She is also not a financial advisor. But what she did is she brought an actual CPA in to give you some information on how to conduct yourself if you should receive. Even though they're digital assets, these guys don't play fair. Only financial securities, crypto is not supposed to be taxed because it is a digital asset. However, if you receive over $10,000, then that means you have to go through all types of stuff that this guy will explain for you. So we're going to play a little excerpt here from Wendy. We thank Wendy for her efforts, and we're just going to play a little clip from here, and he's going to let you know. So before I play this clip, logic should tell you right now that in the future, to avoid going through any of this nonsense, make sure you keep all of your payments that you are receiving. Like if you receive it from a person, that's one thing, but if you're receiving it from an institution as an institutional DeFi, try to keep your payments underneath that $10,000 threshold. Like I said, once again, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just speaking from a logical point of view, because if you stay underneath that $10,000 threshold, even if you have to do several transactions, staying underneath that, it is worthwhile to do so, to not get entangled by three-letter people, which is also why you need an offshore crypto banking account like Ultimo that we always talk about. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's just check this out.
Crypto Wendy O, I think /links, not sure, but go ahead and go there and let's listen to Scott.
Thanks, Wendy. Okay, there's been a bunch of chatter in social media regarding the IRS ruling regarding Section 6050I reporting lately. Let's break that down for you so you know exactly what's going on right now. 26 U.S. Code Section 6050I relates to reporting of cash received in trade or business exceeding $10,000. It was originally released in July of 1984 as a way of combating money laundering. So it's about 40 years old. It was amended with the recent Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, and the big change is a small legal change, but a huge procedural one, which changes the definition of cash to include digital currencies. Let's go over who we must report, how we're going to report, and any additional requirements. All right, any person or entity engaged in a trade or business who receives more than $10,000 in digital assets must report. This does not include any transfers or payments for transactions that are not in a business, a business transaction. So basically, if your friend's paying you back a $12,000 loan, not reportable, or if a family member gives you $20,000 in crypto, not reportable. All right, how are we going to report this? We're going to file a Form 8300, which is going to include the name, address, and TIN, or Social Security number, of the person from whom the cash or digital assets was received. We're going to need to list out the amount of digital assets in USD and also the date and nature of the transaction. Additionally, we are going to have to provide a report to anybody that we reported on, meaning the people that sent us the digital currency, the crypto. We're going to have to send them a report of the total amount that we actually reported to the government. That's got to be done by January 15th of the following year. Let's go over this one more time. It gets kind of complex. This applies to any receipts of digital assets over $10,000, even if they're in separate payments. You're going to gather the information from the sender, including their name, identification, and you must secure a copy of an identifying document, driver's license, passport, something along those lines. You're going to register, and this is a one-time thing, you're going to register your name or company name with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. You're going to download their version of the Form 8300, fill it out with your information as well as the sender's information, and upload it into their portal within 15 days of the receipt of the digital asset or assets. Don't forget to send a report of all the submittals to the sending parties at the end of the year by January 15th. Good news is the IRS hasn't got all this figured out yet. Even if you look at the Form 8300, you'll notice that there isn't even a box for digital assets or crypto. So the IRS has announced in their announcement 2024-4 that businesses right now are not required to report the receipt of digital assets until the IRS issues final regulations. They don't have their system set up just yet, so there's no requirement to report on it right now, but definitely get your system set up because this is going to become part of the required governance from the IRS probably within the next 6 months.
So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren are not finished with you. So, like I said previously, to avoid everything that he was just talking about, just keep your payments from any established business where you receive rewards from an actual business under $10,000, ladies and gentlemen. So of course, this is not enforceable if there is no business, ladies and gentlemen. If you are engaged in a smart contract where there is no CEO, there is no employees, there is no location, you are simply dealing with code, then that does not apply, ladies and gentlemen. I repeat, that does not apply. Once again, I am not a financial advisor, but think about it logically, ladies and gentlemen. If there's no employees, if there's no location, if there's no office, if there's no CEO, there's nothing for them to attack, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly why Satoshi, who created Bitcoin, created the code. This is why when Biden stupidly said that he was going to sue Bitcoin, everybody laughed at him because he doesn't know what he's doing. How are you going to sue something that is not a person? There are no people involved. When you are dealing with a smart contract, there are no people involved. So once again, I want to really beat this into your heads, ladies and gentlemen. If you are dealing with a smart contract where there are no employees, there is no CEO, there is no location, there is none of the things that constitute a business of any sort. If you are simply dealing with a trustless, sovereign, smart contract that is merely code like Bitcoin, just to use it as an example, there's nobody to sue. There's no one to come after, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm going to say it a third time. I am not a financial advisor. This is just merely facts, ladies and gentlemen. However, if you do enter into what he was talking about from an institutional standpoint, then you may have to run that gauntlet, ladies and gentlemen. So the winning move is simply not to play. Stay trustless, do true DeFi, and work your way up to the top by being your own bank and not having to answer to anyone. And this is why you also need an offshore crypto bank account so that you can be out of the reach of Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren and attend to your own affairs, because the winning move is not to play. So until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. We will continue, in spite of these entrapments, we will continue to get this crypto.